Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at disneyplus.com with my first reactions to the brand new Disney Plus original series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit the subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So this week, I have been lucky enough to be able to watch the brand new animated series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, previously known as Spider-Man Freshman Year. And while I can't go into any spoilers or give you a full review, I can give you kind of my initial reactions to the show. And overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of elements that I liked. There's a lot of elements I was a bit frustrated with and annoyed me, which is not the best thing. So the entire series will be coming out over the space of a few weeks. I'm starting off on January the 29th. We're getting the first 2 episodes. And then they're going to be dropping 3 episodes a week and then kind of 2 episodes, pretty much just to get it all out the way by the time Daredevil Born Again arrives, which is a little bit telling to me that there's something I can't quite put my finger on it with this series. There doesn't seem to be a lot of excitement about it. And having seen the show, I kind of get it, because this one's a little bit odd. Because first off, let's talk about the good stuff. There's a lot of elements in here that I like. It's definitely a classic Spider-Man story. He's in high school. He's dealing with high school situations. And this is kind of like an origin story, which is, you know, kind of what you want from Spider-Man, especially from a cartoon series. I think that's the key thing here. And, you know, there's some good storylines in here. There's some different villains and so on. And all of that is really good. The art style took me a little while to get used to, but after a few episodes, I just kind of grew to like it. And I do like the idea that it's kind of leaning in on that retro comic book style. I love the music at the beginning. I think the theme song's great. As a kid that grew up watching that 1960s animated series, I used to have a load of them on VHS. I definitely like that, and I like that callback to the original ones. And they're definitely playing on the fact of this being connected to the comics. But this is where my frustrations come in with it. And this is something I've always felt with this show, is like, who is it for? Is it meant for adults or is it for kids? Because it doesn't seem to sometimes the stories go a little bit kind of more serious than you'd expect, while other times it feels a little bit more for kids. And also that kind of thing of, this is like a multiverse. It's kind of part of the MCU, but then it looks like it drifts off, and then it kind of is its own separate universe. It's adjacent to the MCU, and all of this is very, very, I think, confusing for casual audiences, because it's like, why reference events from the big Avengers movies and some of the stuff that's happened, but not make it part of the MCU? It's like, either do it or don't. And that's my biggest thing with this series. For me, it feels like if you want to do a completely retro style and take a different take on Spider-Man, because there's a lot of little changes and stuff in here, some of which is definitely going to get some attention for the wrong reasons, because there's characters that have been race swapped but also gender swapped, and that's obviously going to get some negative stuff. But none of that's major. Is that really important about the story and stuff? That's something to be aware of. But I just feel like there's lots of other little changes that they made. You know, there's no MJ, there's no Ned. It's like, because they're trying to take it away from the MCU version, but at the same time make it feel like it's Tom Holland, but it's not Tom Holland. It's just a little bit confusing, and it's a bit frustrating from when watching. That's what I felt. You might not feel the same, but I think that's kind of definitely an issue with this one. It kind of feels like a what if sort of series with a completely different art style, which I like. I think that's a good thing. But to me, it feels like this show's gone through a bit of an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Things changed while they were creating it. And I think this is just a bit of a mixed bag. It's okay. I definitely think if you're a big Marvel fan, you like it. There's lots of Easter eggs, there's lots of cameos and stuff, but all of it is a bit, again, doesn't really connect up with the movies very well, but it wants to connect with the movies, but it doesn't want to connect with the movies. I just feel like this would have been so much better if they're just like, look, we're going to create a brand new animated series. It is completely separate, and therefore we can do what we want with it, rather than trying to shoehorn in connections. It almost feels like, you know, they got like halfway through creating it and then decided not to do that, but they'd already got too far in. It's just a bit of a weird little series. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I did enjoy elements of it, and I think it's overall pretty good. But there's so much stuff that just annoyed me and frustrated me, and it's just like that kind of feeling of like, who is this for? Why does this exist? You know, this kind of, again, the multiverse kind of messing things up. But I don't mind, you know, I don't mind multiverse stories in some respects, but kind of it's just a bit odd. That's the only way I can describe it. It just didn't really click the same way that I would have liked it to. And yeah, that's kind of it. But obviously, I'll share a full review on when it comes out. But this is, again, just my initial first reactions to it. Let me know, are you looking forward to watching this show or not? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at what's on disneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.